Welcome to the video on how to cast on stitches in knitting using the single cast on method. The single cast on method is one of the easiest and quickest methods of casting on. After watching this video, you will be able to practice the single cast on method on your own knitting needles. The first thing we need to do is create a slip knot. So take your yarn, find the loose end, and make a loop on your table like this. Notice that the loose end is laying over top the other end that is connected to the skein or ball of yarn. This end here is known as the working yarn. Also note that I've left about 5 or 6 inches of the loose end before the loop. This end is often referred to as the tail. Now pick up the loop with your left hand and poke the tips of your index and middle finger through the back of the loop. With your right hand, pick up the working yarn and feed it to the 2 fingers poking out of the loop. Using your 2 fingers, pinch the yarn and just pull it gently back through the loop. And then kind of just pull the loop and the 2 ends apart from each other to tighten the knot. So here's what a slip knot looks like. Now we need to place this onto one of our knitting needles. So take one of your needles and poke the pointed end through the loop. Place your left hand thumb and index fingers on the inside of the tail and working yarn and just gently pull the 2 ends apart from each other. In doing so, you're tightening the slip knot and you're also creating your first cast on stitch. So make sure not to pull it too tight. It needs to be snug but able to move around on the needle. Now let's cast on the second stitch. So grab the working yarn, the one that's connected to the skein, and wrap it around the outside of your, let's get this tail out of the way, wrap it around the outside of your thumb and towards the palm of your hand. You'll want to stay pretty close to the knitting needle. Bring the pointed end of your needle under the yarn on the outside of your thumb and then bring it back up and insert it through the loop like so. Release your thumb and then gently pull the working yarn until it is snug, but also not too tight on your knitting needle. Let's do that again to cast on another stitch. So to repeat, take the working yarn, wrap it around your thumb, bring your needle point under the yarn and back up through the loop, release your thumb and gently pull the working yarn. Try to keep the same amount of tension on for all of your stitches on your needle. So as you can see, I now have 3 cast on stitches. Let's cast on a few more. Oops. And there, I have 10 cast on stitches on my needle. So as you can see, this is a quick way to cast on stitches, and with practice, you can get very fast at the single cast on method. That wraps up this video tutorial on how to use the single cast on method. I hope you enjoy practicing these stitches.